Feeling lost in the maze of CPS? Desperate to get your child back? You're not alone. Countless parents face the heart-wrenching reality of family separation. The legal system can be overwhelming, but there's hope.
Now, here's the key. Okay, that's how you win a 6-month hearing.
Thank you.
If you do all of those things, you're going to blow your social worker's mind, you're going to blow your attorney's mind, and you're going to blow away the judge.
With attorney Vincent W. Davis, a dedicated legal expert with 39 years of experience, committed to helping families like yours. Join his weekly live Q&A on Zoom, where you can ask your burning questions about CPS cases. Get the knowledge and strategies you need to fight for your child's return.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is a question and answer session.
Are you ready to take control of your family's future? Participate as a one-time guest. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the first step towards reuniting your family. Join us now.
Good morning and welcome. I'm Bob Pace, and I am here to fight CPS. I'm your host, and to hang on to your children. It's a hard thing to be faced with dealing with the agency that is the CPS systems, the child protection systems. There are many child protection systems out there. They're found in every county and every state. They all have different names or different acronyms, but it all boils down to it's the government agency that's mandated, it's the Congress that's mandated the government agency, social services, set up a program and to watch and protect our children from abuse and neglect. Further, they're supposed to help out families in need of food, shelter, clothing, transportation, medical, educational, and even a job. And if they find it's necessary because your children are in extreme danger or harm, they will take your child and put the family back through reunification. That's what Congress mandated, but that's not what's happening. That's not what is happening. Now, I know that we have a falling of everybody in the United States has talked in this room. Not everybody, not every single person, but a representative from each state has talked in this room, several from the same state, from the same county, about problems that they have perceived or seen, about them getting their children back, about family reunification, about false drug tests, about telling them they're mentally unstable. You know, suddenly there's a rogue agencies. I think there's over 900 of them out over the thousands and hundreds of thousands of counties that are taking care of enforcement, but they've gone over a step boundary because they found something called money. Money is the root of all evil. Yes, it's important to make money. I'm not against the idea of making money or having a lot of money or having different classes of people with different money. It's getting to a point where the United States is going to become a third world country. And I'm not trying to downplay third world countries, but the definition of a third world country is you have an upper class and a lower class. You have no middle class. And our middle class is shrinking in the United States because prices have gone up so high. Government spending and waste has gone up so high. And I'm hoping that our current president, and God gives him the strength to do a right job and make America great again. Make America great again. And this is not a speech for our new president, Donald Trump, but it's the hopes that he'll address the child protection system that has badly need of repairs, badly need of people to stand up. Now, this is my intro. It's pretty harsh intro and stuff, but this room or this group, there are a lot of you that come in here that are regular people that are coming here to seek help. And a lot of you are financially strapped, and that's okay. It's not a crime to be poor. It's not a crime to be homeless. Even some of the homeless people keep their camps clean. It's because of the times. Not all homeless people are bad. Not all poor people are bad. There's nothing wrong with having a middle class or an upper class. There's nothing wrong with the rich. And the rich should help out the poor. And a lot of the rich do that. They give a lot to the poor. And through misunfortunate or misinformation, we've ended up that way. So, I'm talking briefly because the room, there's no comments yet. And I wanted to take this time to tell you a little about the problems with CPS. They're not transparent. They lie. They retaliate. They're evil. Mine was. I have a prime example. My case, I fought for 5 years of false allegations. And that was in 2010. And in 2015, my children were ripped from my home, from me and my wife, our 3 young children. I'm a family man and have raised 6 children, helped raise 6 children. I have 41 years of marriage experience, of all these life skills. And I've seen, I am still dedicated to my family. My family needs something. I will try my best to provide for them. And I am struggling right now. It's sad where I'm coming from. I had a good job in the year 2010. And at age 60, after working 45 years, I had a beautiful home. But all that's in the past now. All that is in the past. CPS, and when I say CPS, I mean the child protection systems in every state and every county. Not only is it in the county, but it's in our countries. There are 21 countries that have or even called. I have Indonesia just a week ago called in. I have Bangladesh, India, Saudi Arabia, Libya, then over to Africa. I got Liberia, and then I got Sudan, and then down to Rwanda, then Mozambique, then South Africa, and 4 of the provinces, 5 beautiful ladies, and one of them has called me several times. Tragic stories there. Then I have Denmark and Sweden, and then England, Scotland, and Wales. Then across the pond to North America, where I have Canada, 4 provinces, and they've called in. Then I have all 50 states. I've had a representative from each state, some of them multiple times, including the District of Columbia, which is not a state. And I have Mexico, then down to South America, Grenada, then across the Pacific to New Zealand, and then to Australia. And I've had 2 states there. And I've had several people from there. So it's a worldwide epidemic, CPS is. There's good and there's bad. On my show, I've had 4 great social workers call in. And what they're doing is great. I like to see more call in. I like police to call in. I like to hear your side of the story. But the police and the social workers have gone rogue. And there's a lot of bad police and a lot of bad social workers and a bad CPS out there. And the ones that call my show, 99% call in, is because you've encountered the rogue CPS. The CPS that's not transparent. Right now, there's a case in Richmond County, and what they call their CPS, the cabinet, and there is $1 million that's gone unaccounted for. And they found one of the social workers had embezzled $400,000 of it. They're trying to find the other $600,000. It's gone rampant. In my case, they were paying, the county was getting from the state, that's in California, in the county of Orange County, $20,000 per each of my 3 children that they kidnapped. Yes, you're right. They kidnapped and trafficked them into foster care, and they weren't in danger. They're in school. One was in a private school, and the other 2 were in good public schools, a middle school and an elementary school. And they weren't in imminent danger. But the MO of Orange County CPS system there, which theirs is called the Child Protection Services, is when there is a case reported in by a layperson or professional, they think you're guilty and they investigate. And the reason why they want to get into your home is they want to find some concrete evidence to hold against you. So you never let them enter your home. You do not open your door to strangers. A lot of you are so, like me, careless, not even thinking their home could be danger. There's been so many cases of people shot point blank by zealous policemen who are supposed to be proud and serve, and they shoot and kill before they find out. And there's been some tragic stories of how people are killed. An Air Force man, 23 years old, was shot 5 times in the chest for opening his door. And they had a mistaken a place for domestic violence. And he was on FaceTime talking to his fiancée, and he died on the phone. And her mind, her heart is painful. The mother who lives in in Alabama, is heartbroken. He was serving the United States Air Force as an airman in Gainesville, Florida, and the Gainesville Sheriff Department cold-bloodedly murdered him. Yes, the sheriff's been fired. Yes, there's a lawsuit. But is that going to bring back the airmen? So my rule number 3 says you don't open the door to anybody. And if you have family or friends coming over, you make a special arrangement for the knock on the door or the ring at the bell. Because you should not open the door. There was a black lady, and she was shot 5 times in the face, and she was dead. And they were having an argument when she allowed the sheriff and his deputy to come in. And the deputy did nothing to hold back the sheriff. The sheriff was removed and fired, and now he's being sued. Is that going to bring the lady back? No. There was a Korean lady that was shot by 2 policemen, and she had some mentally problems. I don't understand why policemen, and I once had taken police classes because I was an ocean lifeguard, and we had to make arrests. But when you have a firearm in your hand, you have to know how to use it. Yes, I know there's a lot of policemen are killed cold-bloodedly, sitting in the car when a guy pulls up and pulls a gun. I know that. But you could have shot him in the foot. You could have shot them in the foot. Why do you have to shoot somebody 5 times in the face or the chest? Those are places where you'll kill the person. When you're a policeman, you go through firearms training. You learned about where to kill a person and where to maim a person. The shoulder, the arm, the foot. Those will temporarily disable the person. Also, you have to learn how to enter a place. You don't stand broad daylight in front of a door. They can shoot you from inside. Policemen should learn this. They should go back. I mean, I don't understand. But anyway, my whole emphasis is don't open the door because tragedies will show. Tragedies will show. Now, I have no idea why that came up there, but I apologize that coming up there. That's one of the room messages it has on there. Also, as I look down, I want to say hello to Daro Gaytan and good morning, and thank you for calling me Uncle Bob. This is Felicia, or is Cruel Dotrick. Okay, I know you're from Ventura County. Waiting for my phone back to log in with my account. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so glad. Glad to see you, Felicia, and welcome. Felicia is a really wonderful mother who's going through a lot. And there goes my computer showing stuff on the screen. But I'm glad we have people in the room now. And I'm so happy and so warmly welcome you because I'm here to help you. I'm not a lawyer. I'm a family man. I'm a loving father and a husband. And I take care of my family as best as I can. I'm 75 years old and I still got young children I'm taking care of. I'm taking care of them. My youngest is still a teenager. He's 19. He just turned 19, and I'm so proud of him. Every day, he amazes me. He has a job. He works hard. He's trying to find a better job. He's at school doing what he wants to do, not what we want him to do. He went to extensive high school. I prepared him to be an astronaut, to go to the Air Force, to go to the United States Naval Academy. His background was engineering, heavy in math, heavy in science. And his goal when he started out was to be an astronaut in 8th grade. So in private school for 4 years, me and my wife channeled him to take the STEM track. That's a science class, a technology class, an engineering class, a math class, every semester for those 4 years in high school. On top of that, I told him about the sport called football. And he introduced him to football. Not only was he introduced to football, he excelled at football so much he helped the team win 2 national high school championships. And this year, they've won a back-to-back national championships. That's in 5 years they won 3 national championships with 3 different quarterbacks. It's a remarkable football team. It's a remarkable experience. That football program helped him with his health, his wealth, his health, his energy, told him skills, and he could be a star running back at the United States Air Force, Navy Academy, or any school, Notre Dame, or any school. He's a great running back, and I'm proud of him, what he did and what he accomplished. But he's moved on with life, and so families are important. So I know I'm a good dad. My other son, who is 25, he was in engineering, and now he's in computer science. He switched his major, and he's still going back to school. He has a job too. He's working 2 jobs and taking 2 classes, trying to finish up his senior year in college. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of both my boys. Then the sad part is I want to tell you how bad social services, how bad the CPS is in Orange County, California. How bad the director all the way down. They're very corrupt. They lie and they take apart your family. That was a perfect family. I'm not saying perfect, but it was a good family, a solid family. But this daughter of ours, because the social worker retaliated, and this tells you how evil the social workers are, she was embarrassed in court because she committed perjury. That's where she lied. And I'd hired Mr. Davis, the gentleman you heard at the beginning of the podcast, talk about, fighting CPS. Well, he did his job. There was a time in the court case where my wife's sister and her husband were trying to adopt our daughter. And we didn't want that to happen. We didn't want to lose our children. We wanted them back. So during the proceedings in court, our attorney, Vincent Davis, was asking her a bunch of questions about what kind of the parents my wife's sister and husband were. And he asked him, are they good parents? And the social worker said yes. Then he asked him, candidly, have they ever had domestic violence? And the social worker very proudly says, no. They'll be wonderful parents for your daughter. And then Mr. Davis says, well, I'm a little puzzled. And he reaches in his briefcase, a little bit of pause, and pulls out a folder. It's thick of reports. And he started reading the reports from the police department of domestic violence. And it wasn't your typical domestic violence where there was an argument. There was physical domestic violence. And he read report after report, and the social worker's face was beet red, and she collapsed and she fell apart. And you know what she did? She was so hurt by what Mr. Davis did, and he had a right to do so, and he was defending us and having her daughter back. She went and told us parents, you'll never see your daughter again. And she orchestrated. This is how evil the social services are. She orchestrated by telling her daughter what she needed to do. Now, her daughter was 12 at the time, and she did not know. These things that the social worker tell her are something you don't know. But she said, you're going to emancipate from your parents, which means you're going to divorce your mom, your dad. You're going to divorce your 3 brothers, your 2 sisters. You're going to divorce both sets of grandparents because they were living. And you divorce your aunts, your uncles, and your cousins, the whole family. You're no longer going to be a part of that family. Now, that was pretty sad. That was pretty sad. And I know my sons were hurt by that. My sons were hurt by that. But that wasn't bad enough. The social worker didn't stop there. They said, you're going to change your name. And she eliminated her 3 parts of her name. Her first name, her middle name, her last name. And she had the most beautiful middle name, Hanalei. It's a place that is beautiful in Kauai. If any you get a chance before you die, visit Hanalei once. You'll see how beautiful it is. I once owned property there. And I was going to plan to build my retirement home and my dream home and have my dream family come and visit me and so forth. But all that was lost. I've had some terrible tragedies, I know. I've not been a perfect man. I've been a caring and loving man that's tried to do my best with all kinds of situations that come up against me. All kinds of situations. I want to welcome Empress 8. My goddaughter had her children taken in 2017. And that is awful. That is awful to hear that. I'm going to put a message up there that tells you how to text in this room. And so it's easy. You just put your name and then your first name and then the county or the city your case was in and then the state. And if you're from another country, your country and your province, if you have one there. So Empress in 2017 had her goddaughter. So she must be a grandparent, Empress 8. And not necessarily a goddaughter. Not allowed to see her children for family visits. The Hispanic caseworker took her children, got her to a inpatient or patient clinic. I don't know if something wrong there, Empress. But she had 2 police reports that came in and did a welfare check and found no evidence of abuse. In Los Angeles area, okay, this is from Los Angeles County. So this is LA County, which is really bad. It's next door to Orange County. It's in California. And found no evidence of abuse. In Los Angeles County, but now she has a place and her case is still active. And my daughter, okay, Empress has a daughter, I guess, and she's the goddaughter. I'm confused about the goddaughter thing. My goddaughter has called Mr. Davis' office, but no return call. And I'm so sorry to hear that. And I want to straighten that out. I'm so glad you brought that to my attention. Now, what you need to do is that I'm going to put my phone number up, and you're going to text me with my phone number. That's 626 698 0990. You text me who you talk to at the office. Now, the office number is 888-888-6582. And it's a 24-hour number. And it's always answerable. Because I know, because I'm the last person on the link, that if it doesn't get answered by all the people above me, then I get it as the last resort. So I'm telling you that if you have called in and made arrangements to have Mr. Davis talk to you, I need to help you, but I need to know the date, the time, and who you talk to at the office. And I will turn that in personally to Mr. Davis, and he will contact you. There are ways you can talk to Mr. Davis for free. There are ways. There are ways you can talk to him. You can call into the show at 626-698-0990 or be a guest on my show. I can take up 9 to you. If you're a guest on my show or call in, you are given a 15-minute private Zoom conference, one-on-one, with Mr. Davis for free for 15 minutes. All you have to do is one or two of the things. Be a guest on my podcast or call into that number. Now, if you want longer time than 15 minutes, I made a special arrangements with Mr. Davis, and he can talk to you for 30 minutes for $60. One-time fee of $60 for 30 minutes. Empress 8. And you just use your credit card and go to that website that's scrolling along the bottom of my screen. You go to that website, you use your credit card and book a time with Mr. Davis. That's 30 minutes for $60. You can have 15 minutes for free or pay $6 and have 30 minutes. Or better yet, you can call again and don't let them do that. Tell them when you call in that Bob Pace sent you. It's important to use my name, that Bob Pace sent you. And that's at 888-888-6582. So you have two numbers up there. You have two numbers. You have my number of 626-698-0990 and 888-888-6582. The 6582 is the office. The 0990 is my direct phone. I do answer calls during my podcast only, not before or after. And I want you all to understand that we are here to help you. Mr. Davis is a very compassionate man. As you saw in the video, he cares about you. He is trained, so well trained, professionally trained and licensed to practice law almost anywhere. He has a background in juvenile law, family law, dependency law. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years. He is a fighter. He's a pit bull. Not only has he fought CPS and getting your children back, when your case is over or closed, he's done civil lawsuits, both in state court and federal court, and won millions of dollars for violations against your civil rights and constitution matters and civil rights matters. Millions of dollars. He's a fighter. He's also a trial attorney. He's done numerous of cases that involve trials. Now, when you're in CPS's court, the dependency court, there is no trial by jury. There should be. It should be a trial by jury. You're also at the realms of a very powerful social services that has gone rogue. Some of the judges are bad. My judge knew all about property damage and car accidents and those kinds of things, but knew nothing about reunifications or family or children. Those judges are appointed by you guys. We elect them, but we need to take time of who we elect. And in November, every 4 years, they are elected. They're not appointed. So I'm telling you, you need to really be careful. And that's why it's important to find an attorney. That's my number one rule. And I've repeated my number again there, Empress 8. It's on the screen, 626-698-0990. Empress, I think, has a daughter who has a child. I guess it would be her niece. Anyway, she's a grandmother, I guess. Anyway, she's from LA County. And by the way, grandparents are important people. They have rights too. And a lot of people don't realize that, but grandparents can see their grandchildren. They can also adopt their grandchildren or be guardianships of their grandchildren. There's a new guide out that Vincent has put together. It's called How Grandparents of California can see their grandchildren or get guardianship of their grandchildren. It's a $9.99 guide. But right now I have a special going where I'll offer it 50% off, $4.99. I know that's a lot of money, but it's worth every page for $4.99. I know what money is. I live on the day by dollar. It's so hard when food gets down low and you know you budget the food and you can't buy any more. And so you're faced with a family to fix tuna fish and macaroni and cheese as dinner. I know that sounds terrible, but it's hard. It's hard to come up with meals. It really is. With the prices going up, I mean, yesterday gas just went up a dime. It's gone up, or actually a nickel, I think it was. Anyway, gas a year ago was over $4, and it finally came down to $3.75. And then before elections, or right during the elections, it went up to $3.85. So it's a 10 cents increase. Then after Trump's been elected, it's gone up yesterday to $3.95, almost $4 again. So I've seen it go up twice. That's 20 cents. Now, you think 20 cents is not much. Well, sure, we live in a third world country. The rich can afford increases, but the middle class can't because the middle class has become the poor. And I love America, and I hate to be putting it down, but we need to get America right again. We have a businessman who said this or that. He's making a lot of waves. His first 2 weeks, he's going into his third week in the country. There are tariffs being increased. And there's talks about tariffs increasing the price of everything. But it may be temporary. I don't know. All I know is that I believe in a creator, God. He helps me through from day to day. I am a God-believing person. There has to be a God to keep me and give me strength. So Empress 8 says she has all the info you need. Her name is Charna Jones. Is that the name of the person you spoke to at the law offices of Vincent W. Davis? So what I need you to text into me at 626-698-0990 is I need you to text me the number. Text me that number. The name, your name, if it was you that called, and when. And if you don't know the right date, just approximate. Because I can tell Mr. Davis so-and-so called the office and no one returned her call. Did you leave a message? Did you speak to someone? Is Charlena Jones, the person you spoke to at the law office of Vincent W. Davis. He has a lot of people, but it's a 24/7 operation. He's there to help you. Not lawyers are like that. He's not interested in money. Believe me, money is not his thing while he's in there. He wants to help out others. He was a foster child himself. Yes, lawyers make a lot of money, and there are bad lawyers out there. And you certainly don't want to use the court-appointed attorneys or public defenders, because in CPS cases, they are the worst, because they have a caseload of 30 more clients. They're hired by CPS. They're controlled by CPS. They're not even trained in juvenile law or family law. They're only in criminal law. Criminal law will not help you with your kids or fighting CPS. You need someone that is trained in juvenile law, family law, dependency law, that has fought CPS with lots of years. And right now, his office is in Arcadia. So he has cases in LA County, Orange County, Riverside County, San Bernardino County. He has cases in Northern California, Kern County, Shasta County. He has cases in other states, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Missouri. He will fight a case anywhere. I've yet to ask him about in other countries, because some of you that are listening from other countries want to know if he'll come to Rwanda or South Africa or a place like that. And I'm sure he'd go to any place. The only problem he has is that he needs to be compensated for his transportation, that's airfare or ground transportation, accommodations where he has a place to sleep, and food to eat. Everything is the same. He judges your retainer by how long your case has been going on and the complexity of the case. That's how he determines the retainer. And retainer could be any amount. That's up to him to decide what retainer. I hired him, but I had to sell my home. I did a quick sell on my beautiful $2 million home and sold it. Sold it for half of its worth because I had to do a quick sale. I sold it for how much I paid to get in it. And the money, after paying off the first and the second, I had a credit line and helped me hire him to help me return my 3 children that were taken unnecessary, that weren't in danger. He's an excellent attorney, and I recommend him. I recommend he's one of the 3 people you should call. In my rule number 1, I say you need to call 3 attorneys and find out which one suits you. But you have to first sort through them. And there are 2 important questions you ask. The first question is, okay, we got a caller. All right. Good morning, and who do I have the pleasure of talking to? Hello? You are live on my podcast. This is Bob Pace at the law offices of Vincent W. Davis. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, who is this I'm speaking to?
Sharina Jones.
Well, glad to meet you, Sharina Jones. Your name was just sent on the air. Now,
Yes.
are you related? Are you related to Empress 8?
What you say now?
Are you related to Empress 8?
Yes, I'm her daughter.
Okay, glad to meet you. She was talking about her godchild that was taken into CPS, and you're in LA County, and that's in California. Yeah. Now, what date did you call Vincent Davis's office?
I think it was like 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay, and who did you speak to there at the office?
A lady named Jana.
A lady named Jana. Okay, that's good, because I will text Mr. Davis and say your name from LA County, had called your office 2 to 3 days ago and spoke to a lady named Jana. Now, what did Jana tell you? What did she tell you she would do?
She said that she would give my name and my phone number to one of the case managers, and one of the case managers would call me.
Okay.
And I spoke to a lady named Miss G, and she hasn't returned my calls or my text yet, but I also texted her again this morning, and she said that she was in a conference call and that she would give me a call when she gets off.
Okay, Mrs. G. I know who Mrs. G is. I know who she is. She has a podcast herself. It's only been 2 or 3 days. It may take. They're very busy, so there's other ways you can speak to Mr. Davis. By the way, I was telling on my show earlier. I don't know if you're listening or not, but if you're a guest on my show, or if you call in like you're calling in now, and you're talking live, you qualify for a 15-minute free consultation with Mr. Davis. And I will personally set that up. So by you calling in, Christina, you're going to talk to Mr. Davis. You're going to talk to him.
It's Sharina.
I'm sorry, Sharina. I'm sorry, Sharina. I apologize. Sharina, you're going to talk to Mr. Davis because you've called in. You qualify for a benefit set up. He'll give you 15 minutes of a private Zoom conference call with him. Now, it's really important that when you speak to him, that you tell him that Bob Pace sent you. That Bob Pace sent you, okay? It's important to use my name. And what I'm going to do when the show ends is I'm going to text Mr. Davis and say that you spoke to Jana and you spoke to Mrs. G about talking to Mr. Davis. And I will also tell my show producer, Grace, who arranged a private consultation with Mr. Davis. And I can't say when, but at least give it a couple more days. But you know where to find me. I'm on the show twice a day. I'm on Monday through Sunday. And I'm on twice a day. I come on at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, and I come on the evening at 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And it's 1 hour podcast. I also, on the weekends, come on early at 8 a.m. in the morning on Saturday and Sunday. So I'm on, 14 times a week. So you're never alone. You're never alone. I have a family in here. A lot of the people call me Uncle Bob, which is fine. But I have people from not only from the United States, I have people from Canada and South Africa and even a mom in the United Kingdom that call me. So I have lots of people. Country code 44 is England. Country code 27 is South Africa. And I know these numbers because they do call. And I can't make whatever your situation goes, but can you tell me a little about your case? Why did CPS take your daughter?
Well, I have 5 children, and they were illegally taken from me in 2017. Someone lied and said that I was beating my kids and that I was smoking crack, and I wasn't smoking crack. And I'm going to be honest with you, I was smoking weed at that time, weed and cigarettes.
Okay, understood.
And I've done everything they told me to do. I took all the classes they told me to take to try to get my kids back, and they won't give them back. I've been reaching out for help, and nobody will help me.
I understand. And the problem being is you probably didn't have money to hire a professional attorney, right?
Right.
Okay, and then you are at a low-income status, and so CPS very graciously gives you what they call a court-appointed attorney. The only problem is they gave you a time bomb. That court-appointed attorney has a caseload of 30 more clients. They're only trained in school in criminal law. They're not trained in school in family law, juvenile law, dependency law. And they don't have time for your case. They'll sit on your case. They'll do what the child protection system tells them. And in LA County, it's called the Department of Children and Family Services. They make it hard because every county wants to have a different kind of name. Next door, Orange County is Child Protection Service. I just say CPS. It means the Child Protection Systems. The systems. So they're going to do anything they can do to destroy you by using that attorney. It's like a time bomb. It's ticking. And they will not defend your case. They're going to look for the easy way out because they got too many clients. So probably all the things you told him. Now having smoking weed as opposed to smoking crack, it's still a drug that's not suitable for people under the age of 18. Or in fact, even 21. I think you have to be 21 to smoke weed. Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. So it isn't appropriate to have those kinds of things around children. That's the hard part as parents. We have some habits or some things we like to do, like drinking alcohol and smoking cigarettes. Those are all unhealthy for children. And that's why they have laws that they have to be a certain age before they can smoke cigarettes or weed. Now, crack is a legal drug, and that can be, a recreation drug to some people, but it's illegal to begin with. Secondly, it's illegal to be around children smoking weed or cigarettes or drinking alcohol. Now, a lot of people have parties and have alcohol service and have their children running around, but it's wrong. It's wrong on that.
I wasn't doing none of that.
No, I know. I'm not saying you are. I'm just trying. You have to understand, when you're talking to me, you're live on the podcast. Everything you say and everything I say, everybody in the room is listening. Your mom right now, Empress 8, is listening. And I have a person named Pappas Danielle. I can only talk to one person at a time, Pappas. So, Pappas Danielle, you have to call back later. There. Now, I want to say hello to Margaret King from Missouri. Hi, Bob. Sorry I missed you today. I'll see you this evening. Okay, Margaret. It's certainly a pleasure for you to call in. Margaret's one of my regular room people from St. Louis, Missouri. She's a grandmother, and she also has children, so she has a similar problem that your Empress 8 does. Your Empress 8, is doing that. But I want you not to fret about this matter, but it's only been 3 days, so you're okay. They don't respond as quick as you like them to, only because very few attorneys will talk to people for free. Very few attorneys will even return phone calls or even care about your case. Now, Mr. Davis is a passionate man. And when I tell him that you spoke to Jana at the reception and then Mrs. G, and she'll get back to you, what the case manager like to do, they like to filter the case to say as much as they can find out about you. So when you talk to Mr. Davis, your 15 minutes is enough time to answer your important questions. You're going to have to sit there with a piece of paper and a pen and write down your questions. Then I want you to prioritize the questions, meaning which one do you want asked first, and label them 1 through how many questions you have. And he'll take the time to talk to you. He'll take the time to try to help you in the direction you need to go. It's very hard to navigate in the child protection system. And it's very hard because you're dealing with a court-appointed attorney that is speaking on your behalf. You see, another thing that the child protection system does, CPS does, is they hope and use the court-appointed attorney because they can control the outcome of the case. They have ones for your children. Each one of your 5 children are given a court-appointed attorney. All it is money. And the Department of Children and Family Services in LA County is a rogue county, meaning that they're interested in making trillions of dollars a year. Trillions of dollars. Not million, not billion. I don't know if you can comprehend what $1 trillion is, but that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. $1 million to me is a lot of money. If I have $100 laying around, that's a lot of money. So I know where you're coming from. I once was in the upper class. I'm no longer in the middle class. I'm in the lower class, which is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with being poor or homeless. There's nothing wrong with having your children. You are a parent that care enough. By you calling in, by you talking about your case, you are a proud parent. You're a parent that loves their children. And yes, there are classes that you can take and a program you can be put on. Now, in 2017, they did all that, but they like to lead you on because why? How old are the ages of the 5 children?
Well, my oldest is 18. My next to the oldest is 15. And my third one, she is 12. And then I have 9 and 8.
Okay. You have to be careful with your older ones. The 12 and 15-year-old can emancipate from you in California. That means they can divorce you and go their ways. Hopefully they don't want to. Your 18-year-old is of legal age. So he can do what he wants to do. He can say, I want to go home to my mother. They can't keep him if he's 18. They can't keep him. Now, if he's a special needs child or needs special needs, they can keep him a little bit. But they got to find someone that can adopt him. And you as a parent can adopt your own child back if he's a special need. You get what's called guardianship. You get guardianship of a special needs child. But I'd concentrate on your little ones. Those are the precious ones that need you as a mom. Is the father still involved?
No.
I'm proud of you. You're trying to raise 5 children all alone. That amazes me. Was he involved in all of their lives, or did he just disappeared after each child was born?
He just disappeared.
Oh, geez. That's terrible. That's terrible. For all your dads are listening out there, you need to take care of your children. I know you may think, making love is great, but you need to take care of your children. And you're responsible just as much as the mother is. The mother is sacrificing her life, raising 5 children by herself. There may be differences. There may be, arguments or things like that. But you should still put that aside and think what's best for the kids. Think what's best for the kids. So God bless you. I really appreciate the information that you share with me. I know it's hard. And so what's the last thing that CPS has told you? What's the last thing that CPS has told you?
The last thing CPS told me was when I was on the phone with my new case manager, Tracy, and she got smart with me and told me, you know what happened. And I told her, well, if I knew what happened, why would I be calling you?
Yeah, they're bad people in CPS, I'm sorry to say. She's probably getting a nice bonus, $5,000 a month bonus for keeping your case open. It's all about money. Believe me, if money wasn't there, then the worker would be gone or they would be definitely returning the children. They want to keep the children. Now, where are the 5 children? Are they in foster care or where? Where are the 5 children?
Yes, they're with the foster families right now. They're still in California, but they're in different cities.
And so the family's not kept, the children are not kept in a group home. So the children are not together.
No.
Now, what about
the 2 boys are together, and two of the girls are together, and then my youngest girl is by herself.
Oh, that's sad. That's not the way families are supposed to be. Families, it's so important. A family is the most priceless thing that God can give us. And we need to raise our children. We need to care about our children. That is really, really tough. Now, why is your 18-year-old still in the hands of CPS?
I'm not sure. They sent her off to college in Alabama, and they didn't tell me anything about it.
No,
She called me on the phone, and she told me, she said, Mom, I'm in college now. I'm in Alabama State University. I said, well, why didn't anybody inform me? She said, well, I don't know, but I'm letting you know now.
Well, that was good that she called you. And when she finishes. But your oldest one, if they're 18, they can see you. They can come and visit you. There's nothing stopping them. You need to tell your children that are 18, you're old enough to be on your own. You're an adult, and you do not have to follow CPS's wishes. Now, CPS may be holding a string over their head and saying, if you stick with us, we'll help you finish college. And that's nice they're putting it in college. I don't know if you're planning to put your children in college. That's a pretty expensive venture. And I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but at least your child is in somewhat care. Now, does he have a foster family in Alabama?
No.
He's just going in the dorms, and right?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Well, that's hard. That's hard, being a foster kid, going to college with no family. But he can come and see you at Thanksgiving or at, Christmas or any holidays he gets off, a semester break. He can go there. If he has a job, he can get his airfare.
And that's the thing, they don't come see me. I've told them they could come see me, but they don't. Like my family will go pick them up. They'll go to football games with them and different events with them, and they won't even call me and tell me, invite me to come. They tell me after the fact, after the event is over with.
Well, I think what's happened is that CPS has brainwashed your children into thinking you're an awful mom. And any mom that raises 5 children alone without the father, I think in my book, is a wonderful mom. Now, your choice to smoke and smoke weed is something that should not be around your children. And that's the only thing I could say that's wrong. And with your parenting classes, they should have taught you that. They should have taught you that. And you definitely need an attorney that can work with you. And maybe Mr. Davis can set you on the right track because he is the attorney. He's a fighter. And if they've done him wrong, if they've done you wrong, he can do lawsuits too, civil lawsuits against them, both in state and federal court. So he's the real deal, ma'am. And when you talk to him, you'll be able to understand, and he will leave you with hopefully answers in your case and how to resolve it.
Okay.
So, are there any other questions you'd like to ask me?
Not at the moment.
Okay. It's very important that you put your full name, your email, and your phone number to me. And also mention that you spoke to Jana, the receptionist, and Mrs. G, the case manager.
Okay.
And I will contact my show producer, who will put you in touch with Mr. Davis. And you got my show. So if things are not happening, and granted, it may take a couple of days or a week, you let me know, okay?
Okay.
And I want to thank you and your mom for texting in and you for calling in.
Thank you, and you're welcome.
So don't forget to text in the messages.
Okay, I will.
All right, I'll leave my number up there. God bless you, and we'll talk again soon. Okay, for all you you bet. For all you listening out there, I just spoke to a really Sharina Jones, and she is from LA County in California, and she had 5 children. Oldest is 18, and all her children in foster care, and the oldest is in college. CPS does offer people to go to college. There are scholarships, they do. But she needs to get an attorney to get her children back. She needs to on that. So Empress 8, thank you for having your daughter contact me. Now I'd like to go back to the room of people. You said, Jade, how do I book a call with Mr. Davis? Well, your first way, and if you want to make a book a call, you would contact the office at 888-888-6582 and tell the office, the receptionist, that Bob Pace sent you and that you want to have a conference, a private Zoom conference with Mr. Davis. And he'll set that up. The charge for that, it all depends on what they come up with. Now, if you want to speak to Mr. Davis for free, you could be a guest of my show or do what Sharina just did by calling in. And when you call in or on my show, you get a 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. But you got to either be a guest of my show or call in. Now, to book a 30-minute, a longer session, I have a special deal with Mr. Davis for $60. He'll talk to you for 30 minutes. All you have to do is go to that website that's on the bottom of my screen. Put your credit card number, put the charge, and pick a date that'll work with Mr. Davis. That's a private Zoom consultation for up to 30 minutes for $60. It's a special rate I have with them. And anytime you call the 888 number or you talk to them, make sure you tell them that Bob Pace sent you, either the reception people at the office or Mr. Davis himself. That's so important, Jade. Also, Jade, I'd like to know what city and or county and state you're from. You said right there. I'm sorry, I missed it. I didn't look further down. You're from Lyon County in Nevada. All right. That's great. That's not a problem there, Jade. Welcome to the family. Lyon County, Nevada. All right. Now, Margaret King says, so much for a family reunification. I'm so sorry about that, Margaret. I know about that experience. Jade, that's great. Thank you. Well, thank you, Jade, and God bless you. We'll help you. I'm in here twice a day, 7 days a week, month after month, year after year. I've been on it for 15, going to my 16th month. I started in October 2023. And now the grandmother, Empress 8, says, thank you. I appreciate it. God is in my soul. I believe in it. And it's going to take a village to win this battle along with God at the head. You bet, Empress 8. You bet. And God bless all of you. They're talking into my room. Sadly, I have to curtail my show. What has happened now is that I have now reached my hour on the show. I started late. I apologize. I had computer issues that are really driving me nuts, and I don't have the budget to fix the computer. I've tried to take it in, and they said they can't find anything wrong with it, but I have a virus or something that causes my cursor to jump around and letters coming in and so forth. So anyway, I want to thank Empress 8, who's been talking to me, her daughter, Sharnina Jones. They both were from LA County, California. I want to thank Jade for coming in, and she's from Lyon County, Nevada. And then Margaret, who's been a long-time family member here from St. Louis, Missouri. And then who else have we had in here talk or write in messages? I want to make sure I get it. Oh, Dario Gayton, who is actually Felicia, and on her YouTube account, she had to create another one. It's called Cruel a Doc Do Trick. So Felicia, thank you. And I know how hard it is and what's happened to you. I really apologize what you're going through. All of you are going through a very troubled time. And let me see here. Let me hit escape and go page up and see if I can see these people here. Okay. I think I've included every room. I want to thank the emojis. That's really nice you did there. Lori Hiller from Canada. She has been in my room for 15 months. She's from Canada, has a bad case. She opened up to me a week ago. for the first time in 15 months. She talked. I do know that what you're doing right now is hard, but I'm there for you. I care about you. I pray for all you guys to get your children back. Remember my rules. If I didn't cover my rules on this podcast, there's lots of podcasts that I do. Look at my previous podcasts. Now, I want to turn this over to Mr. Davis, who has a pre-recorded message for you. He's my attorney. He's a great attorney, and he will help you. It's not about money with Mr. Davis. It's not about money with Mr. Davis. Anyway, God bless y'all. Do not stop fighting to get your kids back. And I'll see you tonight at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's on the west coast of California. I'm broadcasting from Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the beach. And so I'm here to help you. God bless you. And this is Bob Pace.
Feeling lost in the maze of CPS? Desperate to get your child back? You're not alone. Countless parents face the heart-wrenching reality of family separation. The legal system can be overwhelming, but there's hope.
Now, here's the key. Faith, that's how you win a 6-month hearing.
Thank you.
If you do all of those things, you're going to blow your social worker's mind, you're going to blow your attorney's mind, and you're going to blow away the judge.
With attorney Vincent W. Davis, a dedicated legal expert with 39 years of experience, committed to helping families like yours. Join his weekly live Q&A on Zoom, where you can ask your burning questions about CPS cases. Get the knowledge and strategies you need to fight for your child's return.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is a question and answer session.
Are you ready to take control of your family's future? Participate as a one-time guest. Don't let fear hold you back. Take the first step towards reuniting your family. Join us now.